What's going on, everyone? So we got some new images of Zion Williamson doing some workouts, doing some shoot around stuff like that, and this guy looks jacked. This guy is look. This dude looks like a molded sculpture. Like, this guy is ridiculous. He's got boulders for arms, and look, Zion Williamson is a ridiculous talent. There's no question. There's no doubt about it. The guy is unlike anything we've ever seen with his size and his athletic ability. On top of that size and that strength and that physicality, he's still only 23 years old, right? And it almost feels like he's been in the league a lot longer than that, but this is going to be his fifth season, and it'll only be his fourth season that he's actually played games because he missed the entire season in 2021, 2022. But when he's on the court, this dude is like historically good. Like, literally, like, it's not an exaggeration. He's literally historically good. This is a 26 point per game guy, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a block. He shoots 71% from the free throw line. He has an EFG of 62%. He shoots 62% from 2-point range, and he shoots 37% from 3-point range. Like, this is a guy that can do everything. And he is a freight train coming down the lane. Could play, the power forward, could play the center in a small ball lineup if you need him to. And he just has the size, the strength, the physicality. It's ridiculous, his talent. But this guy cannot stay on the court. This guy cannot play the game of basketball. The most games he has ever played was his second year, in which he played 61 games. Started all 61. That was the most. Year 1, he played 24. Year 3, he didn't play at all. And last year, he played 29. This guy cannot stay on the basketball court. He has literally missed more games than he has played over the course of his career. And it's damaging the Pelicans, because it's like, you look at the Pelicans and you're like, dude, they could be really good. They could make some noise. But they need Zion, right? And the problem is, Zion, he hasn't really seemed committed either. And as much of a just freak specimen as he is from an athletic standpoint, the guy comes in overweight, and he just doesn't look like he's committed to really trying to strive to be great. This guy has like all-time great, depending on how much he wins, maybe even argument for one of, if not the greatest players ever. Like, that's the talent level. I'm not saying he's ever going to get there, but if he locked in and focused, again, you're talking about a guy that has an efficiency unlike anything we've seen. Like, you're talking like Wilt and prime Shaq efficiency, but like with LeBron's physique and athleticism and just the strength. It's just, this dude could do everything. The guy could literally do everything, right? But can he be committed? Can he buy in? Right? These images are very promising, right? He looks like he slimmed down a bit. He looks, again, just absolutely jacked. Like, he looks like a guy that's just, made out of boulders, right? And if he can buy in and be committed, then the Pelicans could really be a force. And part of it could be just, he is so big and so athletic that it's a problem for like his knees and his feet and stuff like that, because, he's going up and he's not just like barely getting off the ground like some of these big guys, right? Some of these guys that are like 280, 300 pounds, something like that. Like, they can barely jump over a piece of paper, right? When they're lifted up. Zion's literally like, his head's at the rim when he's going up. Like, the guy is just a ridiculous athlete. But then you have 300 pounds just slamming on that hardwood on his knees and just trickling down to his feet and everything like that. So that could definitely be a part of it also. But how much do you want to lose that size for Zion, right? 6'6", 285. It's just like, do you get him down to like maybe 250, right? 260, somewhere in that ballpark? Maybe then that could kind of add some less wear and tear on his body. Because, look at like LeBron. He was 6'8", 250 basically his whole career. And he's, for the most part, has been really good and been able, he's one of the healthiest athletes we've ever seen. He's had a lot more injuries as of late, but that's kind of just more father time and age and stuff, right? But if Zion can be healthy, there's no doubt the Pelicans could potentially be a contending level team. I don't know if they could win. You know, like the Pelicans are one of those teams where it's like, if Zion plays, they could be terrifying. But it's just like, can he play? And even Brandon Ingram, right? Brandon Ingram's missed a lot of games over the course of the season. But like, look, when this team's fully healthy, they were the number 1 seed last year. And like, ridiculously far and ahead. I mean, their plus minus, their win share, like all of it, every metric, they were the best team in the league by far. By far. Like CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson, when they were on the court together, were literally the 3rd best big 3 in the league. In every metric, the only big 3s that were like better were like Denver's last year, which Jokic, Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray. They ended up winning the NBA championship. And then it was like, I think it was like Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, which they were in the conference finals. And many thought were going to be in the NBA finals. And then it was like, I think it was the Lakers with Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. And then I think it was the Pelicans. Like, they were right there, right? Like, and so, and again, you're talking the team that won the NBA championship and the other 2 teams that were in the conference finals, the Celtics and the Lakers. So to think that the Pelicans wouldn't be one of the top 4 teams in the league, because when they were on the court, when those 3 were healthy and on the court together, they were literally the best team in the league. But they had the best defense. They had everything. They were ridiculous. They held teams to 104 points per game, when like league average was like 115. Like, it's just because you have Brandon Ingram on one wing, you have Zion Williamson on the other wing, you got, guys that can defend out on the perimeter, right? Like, it's just, you look at this roster and you're just like, man, they have the depth, they have the talent, they have everything you need to be a very good team, right? And to think that they couldn't at least get to the conference finals, I don't know. I don't think it's that far-fetched. I mean, we've seen Atlanta make the conference finals, and they've been a play-in team ever since. We saw Dallas make the conference finals. They've been a play-in team, right? Like, or they didn't even make the play-in last year, right? So it's like, is it that far-fetched that New Orleans, with, Trey Murphy emerging and really just being this, like, legit two-way guy, Brandon Ingram, Zion, CJ McCollum can be a real vacuum scorer and playmaker for them, right? You got plenty of talent on this roster to really just push and make some noise. Jose Alvarado is a nuisance, right? He could be annoying. Dyson Daniels looks like he's starting to be somebody, or he could be somebody. And then Herb Jones, another guy that can make a real impact. Valanciunas, the Pelicans, based on reports, are looking to move off of him because they want to get like a more long-term center for the future, which that would be nice. But it's like, can these guys stay healthy? Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, can they stay on the basketball court? Can they stay healthy? They haven't been able to do so. And to me, that's been the biggest Achilles heel for the Pelicans. We don't know how good this team really is because we haven't been able to see them healthy long enough. Brandon Ingram's playing 50 games a year and Zion's playing 29 a year. And it's like how do you ever get anywhere when your 2 best players can't play more than half the season? It's just so, and that's why it's like the Pelicans are such an anomaly. Right? It's like the Clippers. Right? Every year since Kawhi and Paul George came to the Clippers, they've had insane depth, talent, all that stuff. They look on paper like a team that should just win the chip every year. All the media, most sports people pick the Clippers to come out the West and potentially win the championship, and this year's their year, and all that stuff. And then Kawhi Leonard and Paul George just can't stay healthy, and they can't be healthy in the playoffs, and they can't do anything. But like the one year that they made the conference finals. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of like what the Pelicans remind me of, right? It's like the Pelicans have all the talent in the world. They look like they could be a really good team. When they're healthy and playing, they are a very good team. But their two best players can't stay healthy. It's the Clippers 2.0, in my opinion. Clippers, same thing. When they're healthy and Kawhi and Paul George are playing, Clippers are one of the better teams in the league. And they look like a legit championship level team. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George can't stay healthy, and then all of a sudden they're a play-in team, or they're, a 6 seed. Right? It's like, it's what it is with the Pelicans. And it's just like, man, if Zion and Brandon Ingram could just put a full season together, as a basketball fan, I would love it. I really want to see, I want to see the potential. Now, obviously, as a Laker fan, Lakers need to smack them and win the NBA championship this year. But I wouldn't hate a Pelicans-Lakers Western Conference Finals. Seriously, if Zion's healthy, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, right, Trey Murphy, you got Valanciunas, or if they do end up getting a more long-term center or something like that, watch out. That would be a fun, entertaining conference finals, I think. Right? And it's just, it's one of those things. I've said it about the Clippers. I just cannot believe in them until they prove to me otherwise. You look at the Pelicans, they have all the talent in the world. They look like a legit powerhouse if they could stay healthy. That's the problem. That's the key. They cannot stay healthy. But I'm rooting for Zion. I'm rooting for the Pelicans. I'd like to see them make some noise. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of Zion's new look? What do you think of the Pelicans? Do you think that they have a real chance at being a potential contender, or a sleeper, dark horse, something like that? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear.